You're giving me flashbacks, Governor, because at the time when I was running, the bookies, the betting agents here had me as second place for mayor of London. And the BBC went to have a debate. And I thought, well, this is fantastic. They invited 6 people to the debate, but not me,
Yeah,
right?
well then you piss somebody off.
Yeah. And that's when I started learning how the media strangely was co-opted into keeping the status quo of the two-party system. And I trying to figure out, I'm like, well, why? They're not part of the system, not getting paid. But for them to keep that whole thing going, to keep the sources of information flowing, it's in everyone's interest to keep out these pesky voices of independent parties. And so they literally engineered me out of it. Our favorite BBC here, which is basically a propaganda arm for the government, engineered me right out of it. And it was fascinating. It's like I didn't exist in the news, but I existed everywhere else.
Well, here's where I had the advantage over you. When I talk, it's ratings.
Right,
So the media didn't run from me, they ran to me.
right, right.
Because when I spoke, they got jumps in their ratings.
Right.
And that's the difference between I love to brag about this. Do you know how much money I raised to become governor of the state of Minnesota?
How much?
Well, first I'm going to tell you a story. My dad was a World War II veteran, 6 bronze battle stars in Europe, right? And one day I came home and my dad said to me when I was a teenager, he said, my dad says, and he only had an 8th grade education, laborer. My dad says to me, all politicians are crooks. And I looked at my dad, and I was old enough, and I said, come on, Dad, you can't make a blanket statement like that. They can't all be crooks. He goes, yes, they are. I said, how? Why? Why do you say they're all crooks? And his simplistic answer was so good. He goes, they're all crooks because they spend $1 million for a job that only pays 100 grand. Nobody would spend $1 million for a job that only pays 100,000. Well, to end my story, I only raised to become governor of Minnesota $300,000. That's all I raised. I made 120,000 a year for 4 years. That means I made 480,000 and I only spent 300. That means if my dad would have been alive, I could have said to my dad, your son is not a crook because I'm making more money doing the job than what I spent to get it.
And that tells you everything you need to know about the system. And nowadays, there's so much money involved. I mean, on that runoff election in Georgia you guys had a while back, it was like, I don't know the number, but it staggered me. It was like hundreds of millions of dollars being spent for that one seat on the runoff.
Do you know why I laugh at it?
Why?
Because I laugh and go, if I were running, I wouldn't have to spend 1/10 of that amount of money. I wouldn't have to spend zilch. If I ran for president now, just allow me in the debates. If you allow me in the debates, if I use the old cliche against the Democrats and Republicans, if I can debate them, I can beat them. Because, see, I don't run against the opponent. I run against the two parties. I don't even say the opponent's name, usually. I talk about strictly the two parties, how corrupt they are, and it's a two-party. I quote my friend Ralph Nader when I say it's a two-party dictatorship, is what you have. It's a two-party dictatorship.
Are you going to run for president?
Probably not. I dabbled with the Green Party because really all I need is ballot access. Find me people that have ballot access in all 50 states and I'll do the rest. I tried the Green Party. It was a disaster. They don't know where they're going. They're divided in two. It would have required me to first fix the Green Party and then take on the Democrats and Republicans. Not even I could do that, Frank. I need to have a party behind me that's focused. And that's what I had in Minnesota with what we were then the Independence Party of Minnesota. We later affiliated with Ross Perot's Reform Party, but then we disaffiliated with them later when we realized they weren't a true third-party movement. They were just Ross Perot. And so we went back to being the Independence Party of Minnesota.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.